We're live. All right.
Hi, I'm Philip with American Products. We're here today to bring you a demo from American Sanders. This is our rep, Kevin Brophy, also known on social media as American Sanders Kevin.
Yes, sir.
For those of you who don't know us, American Products is a premier distributor of hardwood flooring and supplies. We have 6 locations: Greer, Pineville, Charlotte, Raleigh, Columbia, and Kernersville. Without further ado, we have Kevin. He'll be showing you the new American Sanders belt sander, the Legend.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Philip. In addition to what Philip just said, American Products is actually a preferred American Sanders dealer. So in terms of machine repair, purchasing machines or equipment, parts, anything like that, they're pretty much a one-stop shop for all American Sanders stuff. I wanted to say thank you very much to everybody from American Products for putting this all together for me and for us at American Sanders. They're a really great partner with us. So we're very very ecstatic that they were able to put this together for us, especially the repair shop guys. They threw this panel and everything together, beautiful. Makes my life a lot easier. So thank you guys for that, and thanks for letting me do this here today. So without any further ado, I'm sure some of you have probably seen on social media or heard from your American Products distributor about the new American Sanders belt sander, the Legend, which is the machine we have here today. I'm basically going to do kind of like just a product overview for everybody. So this way everybody could kind of get eyes on it, see what this machine is all about. If you have any questions, please feel free. We have somebody monitoring the comment section. So if you have a question, go ahead, type away, and we'll answer it live. So we encourage that. But I'm just going to kind of run through everything for everybody here. So right off the bat, I would say one of the things everybody notices is obviously the light, and we also have a tracking laser on the front of the machine. Can you see that on camera? You want to bring that in closer so everybody can kind of see? Just if you want to kind of zoom in on that a little bit, they could kind of see that. Maybe I'll even turn it towards the camera a little bit so they could see. But yeah, we have a nice tracking laser, so this way if you're cutting on an angle or just moving with the machine, it gives you a really good sense of how to stay on track with the angle that you're cutting at, or it gives you a really good idea of how big of a bite you're taking in terms of your passes with the machine. So it's really, really, really helpful with your sanding process. Obviously the light is nice and bright, gives a nice clean light right out in front of the machine. One of the other big features is this removable handle. Okay, so we have this removable handle. It sits on top of the motor when you're sanding, or if you want to take it off when you're sanding to really improve your sight line, you can do that as well. Also, for transport purposes, you can attach the handle right on the front of the machine just like that. So you can, if 2 people want to pick up the machine, cart it in the house, you have a handle down low, and then they could carry it obviously from this end as well. Very simple, comes right off just like that. Stores right back on top of the motor. One of the other really big improvements, or features I should say, on this machine is the poly V-groove belts. So let me snip over here and I'll show you this. So here we have our belt system. Okay, so these poly V belts, there's no need to take tension off the belts or anything like that. This machine's predecessor, there used to be a lever, a quick release lever on there, because you would have to take tension off of the belts, for storage and transport and things like that. Because of these poly V belts, you don't need to do that anymore. So really great feature. That lever is still here, it just kind of tucked out of the way. So if you want to take the motor off, it's just the same exact thing. You just push that lever down, releases tension on your belts, and your belts come off just that fast. Okay. Another really awesome feature about this machine is how easily the motor comes off the machine. So as you can probably see, we have these pull pins here, no more twist turns or anything like that. That's a thing of the past now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unplug this, and I'll show you how quickly this motor comes off. Quarter turn, pull this pin off, another pin on the other side. That's it. Now this motor will come right off the machine, just like that. Okay. In terms of putting the motor back on the frame, same exact thing. Just going to lift up. You want to wind it up. Get over here. Push your pins in. Again, quarter turn. Belts go right back on. Very fast, very easy, very convenient. Then put tension right back on. You're good to go. Okay. Another really great feature is on your sanding belt door. Is now spring loaded. Okay. If you want to actually zoom in kind of close here, you can see there's a cutout on the door here. Okay, so when I close this, you can kind of see from over the top. There's this groove in the top here, and that's actually done on purpose. That's actually to increase airflow over the top of the top roller assembly to reduce the amount of dust collection that builds up on your whole top roller assembly. So you still want to, at the end of every job, you still want to blow your machine out and make sure it's clean. But this little groove here is actually going to increase the performance of the machine and the longevity of how often you have to clean it out, as opposed to machines of the past. All right. Moving forward, I guess in addition to that, on the top roller itself, it's an improved top roller assembly. The top roller itself now has a more pronounced crown to improve tracking and tracking responsiveness, which is another really great feature. The latching system here is a great feature as well. No more messing with anything. Just simply close the door and it locks in place all on its own. If you look here at what we're calling the dashboard of your machine, so if you were to come and stand behind the machine and look down and look over it, you kind of see that. You have your dashboard. So this is a circuit breaker switch. This is your voltmeter, and this is an hour meter. And you can also tell here all of your tools that you'd need for making any kind of, maybe a tracking adjustment. All your tools are just right on the machine. They have these little rubber grommets, so they're not going to fall out on you. They're going to stay with the machine. You have your wrenches here on a powerful magnet that just stick right here. And now that we're down in this area, you might be wondering, what's this little loop here? This is actually our drum head pressure settings for this machine. And as you can see, there's 5 different settings. So this machine has the capability of cutting at 50 pounds all the way up to 90 pounds of head pressure. And what makes that possible is the very unique and the all-new design spring suspension system on this machine, which is going to be really hard to show you on camera, but that's what really allows this machine to cut so aggressively without dragging you across the floor, and also cut very lightly and very fine, all with the same machine. So the days of having multiple machines, or having a machine that can only do one or the other in terms of a really aggressive cut but not really fine off well, or having a machine that excuse me, or having a machine that that only cuts really fine but is not too aggressive, that's a thing of the past now. This machine is really a do-it-all machine. It's got the ability to cut really fine, really flat, really smooth, and the ability to really cut very aggressive. Let's see here. While we're just kind of moving up this whole area, let's talk about this handle. So this handle is all new. It's an adjustable handle. So this is actually in the highest setting. There's 4 different height settings that you can put this handle in. So if you're a sander that is, I don't know, 6'2", 6'3", and you like your handle up a little bit higher, you can have that. If you're a sander that might be a little bit shorter, 5'8", whatever, and you want it in a lower setting, very easy to adjust. All you're going to do is drop the drum, loosen your bolt here, take this down. We'll drop this down to the lowest setting just so everybody could kind of see. Okay, so we're in our lowest setting there. Tighten this down and we'll lock that in. Done. So now our handle's in the lowest setting. What's really awesome about this setting is, actually Philip used to sand floors for a living, and you can probably attest, this being in the lowest setting actually in some cases allows you to, if you have an island or that has a big granite overhang, this is actually low enough in some cases to actually slide right underneath that island. So how beneficial is that to being a floor sander?
Saves you plenty of time with your edge work and your hand work all around.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and like I said, you know, it's super easy to adjust. It took me, what, maybe 15 seconds to make that adjustment. So it's something you could do right on the fly. Obviously, you want the machine off while you do that, but it's very easy to do, and it makes it very easy for anybody of any size to really use this machine, which is another great feature. Moving on up, if you want to kind of come in closer, everybody nowadays listens to a podcast or music or something on their phone while they're sanding. Well, now you don't have to worry about your phone dying on you because we got a USB port, so you can charge your phone while you're sanding. All right, we have an improved feathering handle here. So when you go to sand, this is the only movement you're doing just to break contact with the floor. That's it. So when you're sanding, which I'll sand here in just a little bit, that's all I'm doing with my hand to break contact and just keep sanding. Okay. Another really awesome thing about this machine is this frame is it's its own machine. You know, a lot of people think it looks a lot like its predecessor, the Floor Crafter, but it's actually a completely different frame, completely different casting. It's reinforced, it's gusseted, and it makes a huge difference. That, in combination with the spring suspension system, is really, again, what sets this machine apart from all others. And it's what allows it to be in a class all by itself. So that being said, actually, we'll talk about the transport dolly that comes with the machine. So here, transport dolly comes with the machine. Super easy. It locks into place in the down position. So this way, if you're walking over a threshold, they're carrying up a flight of stairs or something, you know, if you have two guys carrying it, it's not going to be flapping down in the breeze on you. It stays locked in that position here, so that it's not all over the place. The other really nice feature on this is, let me just drop this, is how this comes off. So I'll show you real quick. Just got these two little clamps here. You just want to lift up on them, and that's it. Your dolly comes right off. If you want to take it off the machine, get it out of the way, very easy to do. If you want to put it back on the machine, it's as easy as just lining these up, pushing it in. That's it. It's back on the machine. Obviously, as you can see here, we have our cord holder. We also have a nice loop. So use a traditional style operator's belt that goes over the handles, you can do that. But if you also run an operator's belt that's got some kind of clamp, carabiner, or something like that, we have a loop here so that you can hook right into that as well. Let's talk about the bag and the dust assembly. So the dust pickup on this machine has improved significantly. As you can see, this whole dust pipe swivels any way you want it, but there's also a locking mechanism. So, and I'll explain why there's a locking mechanism. Phil, when you were sanding, did you run a bag or did you run dust containment with your
We
sanding?
mainly ran bags.
You mainly ran bags.
Right.
All right, so before I get into the locking mechanism, I want to talk about the bag. So I want your feedback on this. So no more shoelaces or strings or anything like that to attach your bag to your dust stack here. You just have a simple pin and clamp. And then also, if you notice, no dust just came out of there. That's because we have this this new design. There's a baffle inside the bag, which as soon as you pull it off the dust pipe here, it seals up the bag and doesn't allow any dust to come out. Okay, so that's a brand new design. Standard bag here with a zipper on it. If you do have bags that have drawstring on them, you can still use them with this. You can put it right around this flange, and this flange will hold it in place. But this bag also goes on just like this. That's it. Your bag's on, and it's not going anywhere. That's it. So very, very, very simple design. What do you think about that, Phil?
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's super efficient, right?
no problems with it coming off while you're sanding.
Nope,
and dusting the whole house either.
Yep, we filled this bag up to the brim, and like I said, you know, I could sit here and put all this weight on it, and nothing. It's not going to come off.
Looks like a sleeker design on your carrier as well on the machine.
Yeah, so that's another great point. So on this machine's predecessor, the transport dolly was actually had a wider profile than the machine itself. So a lot of sanders would always take off their transport dolly. What we did with this machine is we actually took that profile of this transport dolly and made it thinner than the actual profile of the machine. So this way, if you're sanding up against the wall, it's not gonna rub up against the wall or cause any damage for you. So thank you for bringing that up as well. So that's another really great feature. Let's go back to the dust pipe here. So it's got locking positions like I had mentioned before, and I don't know if you kind of come in on here. So you can leave this in, it's got 3 different locking positions. So let me see. Okay, so as you can see, this is one locking position. If you want it locked, typically I keep it locked, excuse me. I keep it locked when I'm using a dust containment system and you got the hose on here, and you don't want the hose moving all over on you or interfering with your, you know, with your feathering handle or anything like that. So you could lock it in place. If you don't want to lock it in place and you want it to be free floating, so you could just twist this out and now it's just free floating. If you don't, there's your second locking position right in front of the machine, so the bag is right on top of the machine. And then your third locking position will be on the right side of the machine right there. Okay, so you can do all of that. The other great thing about this is when it's not locked, this whole dust pipe comes right off the machine. You okay there? Having some camera trouble? Yeah. It's all right. Okay, you good? Okay, awesome. All right, so without any further ado, let's sand a little bit with this. We'll talk about the 5 different head pressure settings like I had mentioned. So like I said, right now we're in the lightest head pressure setting. We have a piece of 50 grit on here. And actually, Philip, do you want to run this?
I can.
Yeah, let's have you run it. And that's in the lightest head pressure setting. So let me ask you this. What type of machine did you run when you were sanding?
Well, when I originally started, I was on the original Bona Pro Sand.
Okay.
And then we had a 10-inch Bona, and then we went to the Floor Crafter.
Okay.
So I ran the Floor Crafter probably about 6 years.
Okay, awesome. So what's going to be really awesome for you is you're used to the power.
You show me the adjustment again one more time.
If you want it up and
I want it up a little taller.
You want it up a little bit taller? All right, let's do it. So we want to drop this. We want to loosen this here.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to pull this out and twist that. Where do you think you want it? About where?
I'm going to try it all the way up.
So all the way up?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want it all the way up, okay, that's that. We'll lock this down. And then we're just going to twist this. Done. There you go.
All right.
Okay, whoop. All right, so what's really nice about these 5 different head pressure settings, and what you're going to notice is you've noticed the power of the Floor Crafter. This is exponentially stronger than a Floor Crafter and exponentially softer than a Floor Crafter. So right now we have it in the lightest head pressure setting. So that's going to be the softest cut with this machine. So go ahead, you can turn it on. And so the other thing you can notice is that the sound level, I'll wait.
Sorry.
It's okay. So how does that feel?
Feels good. The feathering is very, very smooth.
All right, well, wait, so you can say that again.
All right.
So how did that feel?
It felt great. The feathering was really smooth.
Really smooth. And how did the machine feel in terms of aggressiveness?
Felt really good for the flop that you sometimes get on that back wheel.
Yep.
I didn't feel that at all. So that's really nice. You don't have that hard turn.
Gotcha.
You feel like the drum kind of
Yep.
almost flips on you and touches
So
really
so
hard.
that's in combination with the dual wheel setup in the back that we have that reduces caster buck, and then also that's because of the spring suspension system, right? So again, I can't stress how important those 2 things are, especially the spring suspension system. How it just makes this machine it puts the machine in a class of its own. So that being said, you were just in the lightest head pressure setting. I want to jump you up to the heaviest head pressure setting and have you run it that way as well, and just feel the difference. Okay. So the other thing, before you actually do that, I just want to comment on the other really big feature on this machine is the decibel level. So a lot of people used to run a floor crafter, it used to have that high-pitched whine to it that used to get really kind of irritating after some time of sanding. But with this machine, we actually cut the decibel level down, and it's actually one of the most quiet machines on the market now. So I'm sure you could probably tell just by turning it on, it's not nearly as loud as this machine's predecessor. So,
right.
So go ahead. That's in the heaviest head pressure setting now, which is full 90 pounds. So go ahead and feel that.
Okay. Feel it eat.
What's that?
So you can really feel it eat.
Yeah. So one of the great one of the good features of the spring suspension system is that even with all that head pressure, it's not dragging you across the floor like some of the other machines out there that have a lot of head pressure, that when you put that drum down, it's pulling you across the floor. Because we have that spring suspension system in there, it allows the machine to cut really aggressively, but you don't necessarily feel that it's cutting more aggressively because it's actually softening. It's making the operator's life a lot easier. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's another really great feature.
I think we have a live question for you.
Yeah. I just answered it. Okay.
Answered it?
Yeah. Yep. So, hey, how are we doing on questions? We getting any questions, comments, anything like that? Okay. How's it going, Ben? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so that's what I was just going to show you right now. So everybody just saw how easy it was to take the motor off. And what I'm going to show everybody now is actually we have this added accessory, which is what we call a Stair Climber Kit, which is this right here. So what we're going to do is, say you're a one-man crew, and you're by yourself and you got to bring your machine up on a flight of stairs. We're going to take the motor off just like we did before. Okay. Belts come off very easy, very quickly. Pull pins on the side. Motor comes straight off. Okay. Now, the other awesome thing is, like you saw we had the adjustable, the removable handle. We have our stair climber that attaches right to the front of this machine. Now, if you want, you could leave the dust stack in here if you want. I like taking it out, just one less thing in your way. So I guess we'll just put this right here. Now what you want to do is, very simple. Just going to bring this machine up on end, like so. You can bring this down a flight of stairs like that. If you want to bring it up the stairs, it goes just like this. Okay? So that's another awesome added accessory that you can get for this machine. The other cool thing about it is, in addition to that, maybe you're a little tired from doing this, sanding floors and doing this for years and years. You don't necessarily feel like carrying the motor up the stairs either. Well, you don't have to anymore. We're going to roll that forward. And our motor is going to be just like that. Up and down the stairs effortlessly. Really, really, really great feature. We tried really hard with this machine to keep the contractor in mind, and I think that shows. So again, this is an added accessory. It does not come with the machine, but I believe it's $4.99 for this accessory, which is, I think, very reasonable for how much easier it's going to make your life. And again, I'll show you how easily this motor goes right back on this machine. So that's a good question. I'll answer that in just 1 second. Quarter turn. Belts. That's it. Let me put our dust bag right back on.
Put the power up and you're sanding.
Yeah, we could sand with it again.
No, I'm just saying you can't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
No. Quick and easy.
That's it. Again, you got your cord holder. It goes on either side of the machine to keep the cord out of your way while you're sanding. That's it. So, the one thing I haven't talked about yet, which is probably the most obvious thing, this machine's obviously blue. What we did with this machine is we made it extremely customizable. So there is 6 different pieces on this machine that you can get a custom color. You have your handle. You have your frame, your belt door, your laser housing, your light housing, and your belt cover door, this door itself. There's 5 different color options. We have black, which you can see right here in the banner. We have white, blue, red, and gold. So if we look right on the banner, you can see all different colors here. Okay? But the really cool thing is you don't have to get it just solid. You could have a blue frame with a white handle and red features, red door, red cover, red belt cover. Kind of have yourself an American flag machine if you want. You could have a black and gold machine. You could have whatever you want. There's over, I think, like 46,000 different color combination possibilities that you can have with this machine. Obviously, every piece that you customize a different color, there is an added charge for that. But the base machine with the standard handle, not the adjustable handle, comes black, just like in the poster there. With the standard handle is $6,999. Okay, the base machine with the adjustable handle is $7,360. Okay, so very, very fairly priced for everything that you're getting with this machine. Another big feature is this: the capacitor box, the electric box on here, is non-conductive. So, you know, on the predecessor's machine, that was also made out of metal and was conductive. So if you had any kind of, you know, electrical issue or anything, you were prone to, you know, not that it was ever a thing, but just another added feature, you know, having a non-conductive capacitor box there. Whoop. But I think that's pretty much everything I got.
Wood features.
What's that?
The wood features for the handles.
Oh yeah, the wood features. They're also customizable as well. I believe 3 different options. We have maple, oak,
Walnut.
and
Walnut, right?
walnut. That is correct. So you can change out your wood furniture on here, which would be your handle and then your removable handle as well. That being said, overall weight of the machine, I believe, is 210 or 220 pounds, I think. I got to double check on that. I don't. So all belt sanders are left to right. So let me go over that while we have people on here. So all belt sanders, doesn't matter whose machine it is, they're all designed to cut from left to right, and here's why. All right, so Philip, I'm actually going to have you stand behind here and just hold this up for me. It shouldn't go anywhere, but so let's clean off these wheels. Okay, so on a drum sander, okay, you have your drum, and all of your wheels are directly behind your drum. Okay, this is a belt sander, not a drum sander. Okay, so on a drum sander, it didn't matter how you cut the floor, whether it be right to left or left to right. It didn't matter because all wheels were behind the drum. On all belt sanders, they're all designed where the right wheel is directly behind the drum and the left wheel is offset. Okay, so the reason why belt sanders cut from left to right is because if I was to cut this floor from right to left, what would happen is this wheel would be, say this was a finished floor, this wheel would be on the finished floor, this wheel, because it's directly behind the drum, would be on the sanded floor. So it would actually be cutting almost like a line in the floor. Okay, now if I was to take the same exact machine in the same exact setting and cut from left to right, both wheels will always be on a sanded surface, so it's cutting nice and flat all the way across. So hopefully that answers, who was that, Kate's question? So that answers that question. Do we have any other questions coming in so far? No? Okay. I guess that means I'm kind of doing my job well explaining everything. So that's kind of all I had for this machine. Philip, you have anything you want to add? Give me 1 second. Let's put this back on. So while we're waiting, I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in today. I'm sure Philip is gonna.
Did you go over the change in the toolkit?
Yeah. So yeah, all the tools are mounted here, right on the motor. So if you have to make any kind of adjustment, whether it be to the tracking or belt tension, whatever it may be, all the tools are right here. There's no more satchel or bag or whatever it was, and they're just right with you at all times.
Is there a like a an amount of hours or anything that you would think someone should bring their machine in and have them checked?
Yeah. So in the owner's manual, I believe there's a kind of like a recommended hourly maintenance or whatever, however it would be phrased, which would be at X amount of hours we recommend swapping out top roller bearings, and at X amount of hours we recommend motor and drum bearings, and so on and so forth. There's recommended service intervals, if you will, okay, based off of the hour meter. So that's another added feature with this machine. So going back to this whole dashboard, having the voltmeter here, so seeing what your line voltage is coming in right to the machine, is an awesome feature, because it's right in front of you at all times while you're sanding. So you have a cord that might be a little faulty, or your connection into your booster or whatever you're running is maybe a little bit faulty, you're going to get that instant feedback just from sanding, because you're going to have this dashboard, this voltmeter on your dashboard letting you know in real time. So that's another really great feature of that. So
seems like you thought of it all.
We tried to, we really tried to. So that's all I pretty much had. Thank you for letting me do this demo, Philip. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
For those that joined us today, we have a promo code that you can use online or in stores. It is Legend10. We'll give you discounts on some of our products, again, in-house or online. I want to thank Kevin for coming today, showing us the Legend. Seems like it should hold up to its name.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Well, it's got legendary roots, and that's part of the reason why we came up with the name The Legend for this machine. It's got a lot of lineage behind it. So yeah, right. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me do this. Thanks for setting everything up. So thank you to you. Thank you to American Products. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for joining in today. Again, all of your American Sanders machines can be fixed and serviced in our service department, and we carry all American Sanders parts.
Yes, sir.
and we keep them stocked. Thank you for joining in today, and have a nice day.
Take care.